2 doors on. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Well, look at that. We have 2 doors on the car. Actually, we got a third one, but we'll discuss that later. So yes, doors are on after much frustration and work, but as you can tell, it's in a little far there, it's out a little far here. They are far from perfect by no means. They're basically just on and working. I do have a perfect gap here that's nice and even. And I have a perfect gap here that's nice and even. My issue now is getting the doors this way, front and back, and also a little bit more this way tilted in. You can see up here, I got a large gap here. It gets smaller. This one's actually smaller. It gets a little bit bigger. But I need to order a shim kit. There was shims in this door. When I took it apart, they came apart in pieces and in dust. There was nothing left to them. But I do have 2 functional doors. Now for the third one, not the greatest thing going on. Now this side is giving me all kinds of grief. I have stopped. Went over a period of 2 days doing these 3 doors. Of course, the last one over there. And it's in there, and it closes. You can clearly see the issue here, and I'm out of adjustment. There's no adjustment. That's the problem. I need some kind of a shim kit. I need this door to be able to go down and out. The down is the easy part. I cannot make it go back. That's what I need a shim kit for. I got to get the shims on it. I am so close. I'm almost touching. And unfortunately, yeah, you're right. That is a door pinch. And I tore off some paint, and I got a dent. Not a good time putting the door on, concentrating so much on the seam and watching where it's going, not realizing the inside part of the door, the piece that goes across, it actually grabbed the fender. As soon as I pulled it out, I heard it drag. Closed it, I heard it drag. And my heart sunk. What do? I'm at that point where there's no return. So unfortunately, I just closed the door the rest of the way, and that's what we got. So I am going to leave the last door until I get that shim kit. I may do the trunk lid and the deck lid. We'll see what happens there. But you know what? I'm just going to walk away from this for a minute because it did get quite frustrating. Now, I have cleaned up my shop greatly. Got a nice fire going. It's been cold. Been cold this last week. Freezing cold. And I want to address a little something. As you might have seen in some of the videos, and I didn't really go over it a whole lot, but I have a lot going on here. I have a bunch of new shelving going around. Of course, we got some new tools. I got a ventilation fan in the back that I installed. And got a little other something outside. So I needed myself a little more workspace over the winter. So I built myself a little, I don't know which one to call it, lean-to cover. Got a nice zipper. We got her all plasticed off. Tractor sitting in here all nice and purty, loving life, not getting any snow on her. And yeah, I've been coming in here. I got some other stuff going on. Another big project that you will probably see in the spring. It's kind of cut up, so I don't want to do it as just small little ones. But clearly, there is another project. Yes, that is upside down. Put over there on the pad. So yeah, I'm going to take a little break from the hands-on on the actual 64. I'm going to start moving on to some other parts. Mainly, some weather stripping. This is just in the way all the time. This is the weather stripping for the front windshield. I have to reuse it. There's absolutely nothing available. And as much as people have helped me look, when it comes down to it, the actual Mopar stores and the big Mopar channels all say the same thing. There is nothing. There is nothing that can replace this. There's a few odds and ends out there that kind of work and always leak. So this has still got some flexibility in it. It's no chunks in it missing at all. I did have to cut it in half to get it off the glass, the original windshield that was busted. I had to cut it in half because the lock, that's that line there, is too stiff, and I was afraid to break it. So what I got this up here for, we're going to clean this off. Over the years it had leaked, and somebody had tried to seal it with some goop. Not a good idea. Inside would have been much better. This is kind of a mess, but someone tried to seal it to the car frame itself, and I'm also going to assume that's because when I took this apart, the rust that was in here that I had to clean up. So we will reseal it. That's fine, but I got to get it cleaned up. Got to get all the crud out of the inside of it here, all the goop that they put on it off it, and also this little surface kind of a, I don't know, it's just mold. It's not really mold, but it's like moss and stuff that it was growing over the years. So I'm going to clean this up, and we're going to get a product. We're going to rub on this, throw it in a bag for a week or two, and hopefully we'll get it to soften up a little bit so I can open up that channel, because it's kind of, you can kind of see how it is. It's pretty interesting how the glass all fits inside here. So this is the original window seal, of course. Now, I did cut it in half when I took it off the car because I had to get the glass out. And it was so stiff at the time, there's nothing I could do with it. Over time, sitting here in the heat, out of the sun, and also I kind of rolled this up, and I put it up there on the floor and kind of leaned up against my other rolly chair for about an hour. And it got really warm. And you know what? It also got nice and soft. And look at this. I was able to get the lock opened up nice. Practically the whole way around. It opened up nice, and I did it nice and gentle and flexible. And I can open up the main seal channel for the glass itself. And I've been digging out the urethane, the old urethane. There's not a lot in there. Someone has tried to seal this, and not the whole thing, just in spots. They must have had leaks over the years. So they decided to open this channel up and squirt a little urethane in here and there. And I tell you what, man, my fingers are killing trying to get this stuff out. Now, with all the prying and stuff, yes, it's taken time. It's taken me about an hour to do half of the bottom of the seal. And so that's only 1/6, a little over 1/6 done. It's gonna be a 6 to 7 hour job, I think, to get this out. Maybe it gets better as I go, I don't know. But that's also only the window glass side. I haven't tackled the other side that goes against the metal, and it's got some rust chunks and stuff in there, and someone really gooped it up. It's like solid, like not even a gap anymore. They've gooped it up over the years, and that would end up making it the two corners, which makes sense. Makes sense that they would have did that. Remember, right here, I had a rust hole in the cowl at the top, and a small one starting at the other side. So years of leaking at the top. That window caused that. Yeah, it's not so bad pulling out. The only thing you got to watch out for is the spicy bits, because every once in a while you'll get some tape or urethane out, and it's got little shards of glass all stuck in it. So there's probably more than one windshield in this car over its life. But got to continue digging along here and see how far I can get today. All right, next day, and I'm on the roll again. So I ended up got all that finished on the inside where the glass goes. Now I'm working on the outside that fits on the metal edge all the way around the windshield. And it's a mess. Somebody has sealed this many times. If you just look here, you can see the amount of goop that was just shoved in there over the years. It's enough that I've been cutting it off with the knife, and it's thick. It's some big chunks, and it's a mess. But the hardest thing is, see that shiny down in there? You can see down here, it's nice and black. I got most of it off. But I think I've come into the original sealant that might have been used in factory on this car. So down on the flat only. There's none on the sides, but I'm into what I think is dried up butyl tape. It's kind of gray, and it comes off in chunks that are kind of flaky, but almost a little bit soft. And I'm wondering if that's the original adhesive or butyl tape, just sealant that they put on the edge of that metal all the way around there. It's a bugger to get off. Once I get started and I get under it, the screwdriver is like the perfect size to fit in there, and I can just start. I just kind of work it side to side as I go, and little pieces, mostly like this, are popping off. Every once in a while, I'll get a bigger chunk that's like the size of an inch. But it's coming slowly. You can see I got it all out, all the way to the end there. And I'm right about here. This is where I'm starting again. So it doesn't come all out the first go. It's hard to get under the edge. It's weird. It's not adhered to the rubber, but it's stuck on there. It's a hard thing to get underneath, but keeping on going here. Hopefully I'll get this done relatively quick. It was nice that the top half of this seal for the glass side wasn't urethane, so it ended up being faster than I wanted, or faster than I thought, which is still good. It still chewed up 3 hours, cleaned it out, and I probably got another 3 hours or so to go here. But onwards and upwards. There, all the cleaning out of the way. Man, it's hard on the hands, I tell you. But I managed to clean all the urethane and all that hard butyl and rust or whatever else is in there. Got it all cleaned out. So now I'm just gonna get an old rag here. I'm gonna cover up my dash. There's a little dust starting to build here. Cover up my dash, and I'm actually gonna shove it on here and see how it fits all the way around, and see if it's actually shrunk over time when I cut it, or is it still the right length to fit. So it's going out on this edge here, all the way around that opening for the windshield. Well, I tell you, I am so happy about that seal. If you look here, just a hair apart, but you know what? I'm sure that's just the stretch of it. It's on there loose to make up that gap. I could easily just tug this a little bit as I go around, but it is looking good. That is awesome. That fits in there so nice. Starts to really cover up all that mess that you see down in there. But for the most part, it's where it's going. It's in. It's in. And it fits pretty darn good. But that is going to wrap it up for this week's video. I'm trying to make these videos shorter. I know the hour ones, it's a lot of work to put them together. And I know you guys don't really enjoy watching hour-long videos of me putting stuff together. I understand. It's just when I get to a certain point of so much content from my TikTok, it's like, what do I do with it? How do I put it together? I can go probably get a little further there. But you know what? We're gonna keep it shorter here and try to do week to week like we used to. But that is awesome. Glad to get out of the way. Now I'm just gonna get some rubber conditioner and get that all lathered on there just to get it a little softer, because now I have to scrub this. There's like a layer of, I don't know, 40 years worth of forest grime on there. So it's got to come off. Got to get it cleaned up a little better. Make sure inside that lock is clean. Then we should be good to go. But anyway, thanks for stopping by Duchesne's Corner. Catch you again next week.